and welcome back to the Tea and Soju C-Drama Podcast, your safe spot for C-Drama chatter. I'm your host, Liliana, and it's time to sit back, grab your tea, and let's chat Asian dramas. Instead, today, we are turning our lights onto a Japanese movie, and I've got a very special guest today, but I'll introduce her in just a bit. We are going to be reviewing the Japanese movie Once Upon a Crime. Just some housekeeping before we get into the podcast. If you like the episode, please like, share, and subscribe on the platform you listen on. That really helps the podcast reach other listeners. For more content, check out Patreon, where you can find behind the scenes, first impressions, movie reviews, and more. Finally, if you would like to chat to me or find a community, check out Discord, Instagram, and other socials. The link is in the episode notes. God, that intro today didn't want to come out. Jess, everybody knows Jess by now, but would you like to go ahead and say hello and introduce yourself?
Hello, hello. This is Jess, the host of the Daebak K-Rambles Podcast, one third of the drama trio.
Mm.
And I am so excited to be here with you, Liliana. I appreciate you inviting me on for a very special movie episode review.
Mm. It's the first ever movie, I think, on Tea and Soju. I don't think I've ever reviewed a movie on here before.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think I have. I don't think I have. I've
A
done
big
like
first. All right.
Yeah, I've done like short dramas and I've done other things, but I've never really delved into movies before, so I'm very excited. So Jess, what have you been watching recently? Just as a start off point, what have you been watching recently? You hate this question, don't
Girl,
you?
because it's always so embarrassing because I haven't been watching that much, really.
But
I
to be fair, I have like three things on my list right now. Like I'm barely watching anything either. It's just how it goes right now.
but it feels like every time I go and record a podcast episode and someone asks me like, "Hey, what are you watching?" I'm like, nothing because I just got done watching something or I'm in between shows. I just got done watching Nothing But You, the C drama,
Mhm.
and we recorded that episode very recently for my
Yes, very
podcast,
recently.
very recently, as in like an hour ago. And we're me and my sister are watching The Pit on HBO Max. Do you know anything about The Pit?
No, I don't.
Oh my God. It is so good. There's only two episodes left in season one
Mhm.
at this time of recording. And it is so addictive. It is a medical drama. It's a Western show, first of all.
Mhm.
And it's a medical drama about an emergency department.
Mhm.
And the whole shtick, like the premise, is that it's one day, one shift of an emergency. The whole season is one shift of an emergency
Oh,
department in,
really?
yeah, in Pittsburgh, which is why it's called the Pit. And
Okay.
yeah, and each episode is an hour of the shift.
Oh, that makes sense then. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
So
Yeah.
all hell breaks loose basically every hour. And it is so compelling. It's very, very medically accurate to the experiences of a lot of
Mhm.
emergency room staff, the nurses, the social workers, the doctors, the residents, everybody. So I love the show. The acting is superb. The cases are incredible. And it just keeps escalating. So I highly recommend it if you're into that at all, or if that sounds appealing in any way.
Mhm.
I am going to keep watching through the story of Pearl Girl, and then I'm going to finish watching today Hot Stove League, the K drama,
Yes. Mhm. Mhm. How
for
many
an
episodes have you got left?
just six, I think,
Oh, that's not too
five or
bad.
six.
You
No,
Yeah, yeah, that's not too bad. That's
no,
not
it's
too
not too
bad.
bad at all. Yeah,
No,
so
no.
it's nice, but otherwise, I haven't been watching anything currently airing. Like uh when life gives you tangerines.
Tangerines. Oh my God, I'm so mad because I was behind on the show. I have like 8 episodes left, right? life happened. I just got behind. And I got spoiled on the ending literally like a
That's
couple
wrong.
of hours after the and the thing is this show releases 4 episodes in one day. It's like
Yeah.
how are people watching 4 episodes that quick? Like I just don't get it. I just don't get it. So I'm really mad. And now I'm just like, look, now I know what happens. It's really annoying. It's
I
really
I
annoying.
agree. I agree completely. I feel like I've been spoiled completely on the show as well. I know exactly what happens. I know exactly who gets with who. And
Mhm. Mhm.
like, please stop
So
spoiling
infuriating.
shows.
It's infuriating. And like I'm a big avid spoiler person. Like I don't really care if somebody spoils shows for me. It really does not bother me half the time. But if it's a crime show, then don't spoil me. Let me watch it. If it's like a very normal rom-com, then it's like I don't really care if I get spoiled or not. But with this one, I was really looking forward to just looking at the beats and just like seeing how the progression of the show was gonna go.
Yeah. How it
And then all
unfolds
of a yeah, and then all of a sudden I like boom, oh here's how it ends. And I'm like, ugh, come on. Come on, guys. Come
takes all the
on.
fun out of it.
It really does. It's so infuriating. People just cannot hold on to their thoughts for 5 minutes. Like at least give like a 24-hour period
I think
grace.
longer.
Yeah, I think longer too, but like at least 24 hours. It's 4 episodes, people. We're adults. We have works and lives. Like, oh, that's my mini rant about spoilers, but yeah. I'm the same actually. I haven't been watching much of anything lately. I feel like I finished the first Frost and now I'm like in the biggest slump ever. Nothing seems
Oh,
that good. There is a currently airing drama that everybody and their mother is talking about. And I have been so tempted to watch it, but then I think about who the female lead is and I'm like,
oh no.
no. It's Chen Duling. She's the female
Oh,
lead. Do you know what the problem is? This is the same screenwriter and it's based on the same author that did The Double and people are saying this is written so well, it's directed so well and I'm
crap.
like, bitch. And then I'm just like thinking, oh, do I really want to put myself through this? Do I
Oh
really want to put
man.
myself through Chen Duling? Um, so that's the big one that everybody's watching, but I haven't pressed play on it. I don't know if I will, to be honest. But yeah, I'm not really watching much of anything apart from like dramas that I have to be watching for podcast reviews.
Hmm.
I do really want to check out. Is it a I can never say that word. Adolescence? Adolescent? Oh,
Adolescence. Yeah, I
yes.
want to check that out too because I
I
heard
really, 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 really want to check
what's the
out.
gimmick on that one? The kid in that show, the child actor in that show, that's his first thing he's ever done
Yeah, he's never
ever.
done
He's not
anything,
like a trained
and
actor.
yeah, and every episode is one take. So every
Yeah.
single episode is a one take. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
this is crazy. Like I think the only experience really that I've had with one takes is this is gonna sound really silly, but it's like BTS did one of their music videos and it's all one take. That's the only experience I
Are you
have
joking?
with one take. No, I'm really not.
Oh
That's
my
really
gosh. The magic of the oneer. Yes. Yeah,
I'm
it's
very
it's a technical
excited.
feat
Mm,
and it's always pretty impressive when they pull it off when a
mm,
crew production can do it, let alone an
yeah,
entire episode or the
yeah.
entire film or something like that. Just
This
one
one's
scene is it's
full.
like it's
Yeah.
enough. One sequence is enough.
This one's 4 episodes. So I am going to check that one. I'll probably check that one out this weekend and see how that one's going because I've had a lot of people say how good it is. So I'm very, very curious. And even like friends from back home, which never tends to happen because the kind of stuff that hits back home doesn't necessarily hit in the UK and vice versa. So
Mm,
if people back home are like, I loved this, this was really good, then I'm like, okay, I really want to check it
yeah.
out. So I guess I'm going to pivot to an Asian, a Western show, a British show nonetheless.
Yes.
Right. Shall we get into this today?
Yes, let's
So
do it.
It's a little known fact that Jess is a movie person. I think that is a very well known.
That's
Surely it's a very
because
well known fact,
lots of
isn't it?
people don't watch movies, and I do. And so I think it was a little shocking to start, a K-drama podcast and start talking with other creators and make friends and start speaking with listeners and make a lot of comparisons and references to well-known pop culture and media and movies. And the people
Hmm.
didn't, they weren't following me. And I was like, oh no.
I'm one of
So,
these people.
so I
It's a
was
no.
like, oh no, what am I going to do? So the default that I come to is that people should just kind of like branch out and watch a few more movies. And
Hmm.
it's a lot different than watching a whole show because you could sit there for an hour and a half and watch one episode of a K-drama
Exactly.
nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you could
True.
spend that time and watch an entire film,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Or at least part of
Yeah.
a film,
Yeah.
and get
Yeah.
an entire story. And I love it. I love movies. I really appreciate them. And that's all I'm gonna say. Like that's my soapbox speech is to like please just give them a chance uh to watch more movies.
So, I have been saying for the longest time that I want to watch more movies because I was looking on MDL and I've watched like a whole grand total of like 5 Asian movies, which is atrocious. It is atrocious. And I've not actually watched many of the big great ones. Shall I go on record and say that I haven't watched like Parasite or Train to Busan or any of like these really mega big movies?
Hmm.
I know,
It's
shameful.
okay.
But but I've been saying for the longest time, oh, I really want to do watch more movies. And I thought, what's the best way to make me watch movies? It's if I say I'm going to review them
It's
because
absolutely true. The best way to watch something when you're a podcaster is to be like, well, if I do an episode on it, then
hmm
I
hmm
have to watch it.
hmm
Yep.
exactly. So I said to Jess, do you want to come and review some movies with me on the podcast? And that's what this is. So this is going to be a little series where Jess pops in and she's going to review some movies with me. And not only is this kind of I say kind of easy. It's a lot easier for us to review a movie together. It takes less time for us to do than it would be to do a full blown out, 20, 50, whatever, how many episodes show.
Yep.
So yeah, it saves us a little bit of time and it gives us something, to still talk about. So, the movie we are doing today is called Once Upon a Crime. This is a Netflix movie. It is a Japanese movie. And I actually went with the Wikipedia synopsis for this because it's better than like MDL has like
Yeah.
a one sentence for this that doesn't tell you very much. So I thought I'll go with Wikipedia. And it reads Little Red Riding Hood meets Cinderella in the woods. Together they meet witches and express their desire to go to the ball at the castle. The witches give them pretty dresses, shoes, and a carriage driven by an An anthropomorphic mouse.
Yep. Yep.
On their way, no idea what that word means. Do you, Jess?
Anthropomorphic,
Yes.
uh human
No,
like
no. Okay,
mouse.
okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. On their way to the castle, they run over a corpse, and upon a closer look, Little Red Riding Hood exercises her detective skills. They hide the corpse and proceed to the ball where Cinderella has a dance with the prince until guards report the discovery of the corpse. I mean, just that is bonkers. This movie
It's
is
totally unhinged.
bonkers. It's so unhinged. It's so unhinged. Um. Oh, I forgot to mention, guys, because this is a movie. Spoilers are on the deck straight from the get go. We're not really going to do a non-spoiler part of this episode, we are just going straight in with spoilers. Now,
Spoiler warning.
yeah, spoiler warning. This is adapted from a novel. Little Red Riding Hood on her journey encounters a corpse, which, you know, that's the accurate, like, that's the translation of the Japanese title, and that is by Ayagi Eito. Um, it is, like I said, a Japanese movie. It was released on September 14th, 2023. It is 1 hour 45 minutes. It has an MDL score of 7.3, an IMDb score of 5.3. Now,
Ouch.
this, I know, it's low, isn't it? It's low.
It's not good. All right.
It's not great. Um, the director for this, director and screenwriter, is Fukada Yuchi. Now, I really don't like this about MDL, which drives me crazy when it comes to doing like any sort of Japanese work,
Uh-huh.
because it just makes me work harder a little bit. And it's the fact that MDL never translates any of like the Japanese titles, which is infuriating because all you get is again Japanese titles on goodness words on MDL. Are you looking up the director? I'm just seeing what he's
Okay, so
done.
it looks like he's also done a lot of screenwriting,
Yeah, because he's so
the director 44
IMDb,
times.
yeah, that's he's a writer 53, director 44, so it seems like he's done quite a few things.
So, director, he's done Under Ninja from this year, Saint Young Men, Holy Men versus Demon Army from last year,
Last year.
2024,
Mm-hmm.
Black Knight Parade, The Untold Tale of the Three Kingdoms, Oyabaka Seishin Hakasho, which is a TV series from 2020. From
Mm-hmm.
Today, It's My Turn, the movie. Wotakoi, Love is Hard for Otaku from 2020. Seinto Onisan, another TV series. From Today, It's My Turn. Kintama 2. Yeah, it goes all the way
Mm-hmm.
back to 2009. He was directing.
Yeah. He's done quite a few things.
Yep.
Quite a few things. Now, there is another screenwriter, and it's Kamata Tetsu. And actually, they don't seem to have a lot on their I went with IMDb for this one. They have two things for acting instead of like screenplay. One of them is Million Yen Woman, which I have actually watched to this one. Um, a good while ago, a good while ago, because it's from
Yay or
2017.
nay?
I don't remember much of it,
Oh
so,
no.
I can very quickly bring it up on MDL and tell you what my
It's fine.
MDL score says. Um, I rated it a 7.5, so
Okay.
it's middle of the road. Like a 7.5 for me is a very much like middle
Yeah.
of the road type situation. But yeah, it doesn't seem to have anything else for this actor in terms of like screenwriting or anything. That seems to be it on his page, at least on IMDb. So that's like, screenwriter. For the cast, I only put down the female lead who plays um Little
Little
Red
Red.
Riding Hood. Yeah,
Yep.
Little Red, Little Red. And that is Kana Hashimoto. Now, she starred in things such as The Third Finger Offered to a King. I have watched this.
You have? Okay.
I have. It's the tropiest of trope centrals.
Oh.
It's very J drama. It's so J drama coded. Yeah, you just know. You just
You don't
know.
even know how to like Talk to me about it.
Well, no, because it's like it's very much one of those shows that you go in and you know what you're gonna get. It's very formulaic. It's very I don't know. She's supposed to be this very beautiful lady who and everything always causes a lot of problems for her. So she's actually a marriage planner, right? And men always kind of like flock to her and she becomes dubbed marriage wrecker. And just because she thinks she's going to get fired, the owner kind of proposes a marriage of convenience to her, and that's kind of like this show setup. So it's basically very tropey. Well, I scored it a 7.5 on MDL, so
Another average.
another average. Yeah. She's also been in Love is War from 2019 and Our Story from 2020. So yeah, so other characters, supporting roles, because she is the main character, but we have other supporting roles. We have Araki Yuko, who plays Cinderella. We have Ayata Takanori, who plays Prince Gilbert. We have Moro Tsuyoshi, who plays Paul. I can't with these, like the names they give.
Stop
We
it.
have
You don't have to keep going.
so yeah, so that's like some of the cast involved in this, but really it's about Little Reg. Like that's what the movie is mostly focused
Sure.
on.
Sure.
Should we rate this and then we can just get into thoughts?
Yeah, yeah,
I
absolutely.
think we'll do
Absolutely.
that. So
Okay.
ratings work. One teacup. It was something I watched. It wasn't good, but something made me finish. And that's a 1 to a 5.5 on MDL. Two teacups, the okay ones. Dramas I don't really recommend, but they were an okay background watch. And that's a 6 to a 7 on MDL. Three teacups, the enjoyable ones. Good dramas. They were enjoyable, and I would recommend to people who enjoy this genre a 7.5 to an 8 on MDL. Four teacups, the loved ones. These are dramas that I really loved. There might be a couple of problems with it, but overall, a really enjoyable drama that I would recommend to a wider audience. And that's your 8.5 to a 9.5 on MDL. And five teacups, the Rose Glass No Faults dramas. This rating is reserved for those dramas that you love so much that you are willing to ignore any problems they may have. And that's your 10 on MDL. So, Jess, what would you rate this movie?
Girl, so I was gonna give it a two
Mm.
teacups, but then you read the one teacup description, and I was like, no, it's a one. It's a one for me. It's a one because it was something I watched. It
So
wasn't good,
crazy.
but something made me finish. That's exactly how I feel about this movie. I had kind of high expectations because when I saw the trailer in
Mm.
2023, I was like, this looks really cool. It looks really imaginative. And I love the concept of twisting fairy tales or,
Mhm.
mixing fairy tales up and doing sort of like rebooting fairy tales, so to
Yeah, yeah,
speak.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that. I think that's kind of cute if done the right way. This was not done the right way. This was not done the right way.
So
I'm sorry.
wild.
This was like it's kind of so strange and it felt like I was watching an anime, but like not a good one,
Yeah, not a great anime,
not a
no.
great anime. So uh even though it was campy, it it just was not good. It wasn't good camp. So
No.
no, one teacup for me. One
So
teacup.
I was gonna go two teacups for the simple
Okay.
reason that this is just a wild ride, and even if I wasn't reviewing it, I still would have finished it just for the simple reason that I really wanted to know where the heck this was going.
Okay. Okay,
Like,
you're better than me because I basically broke this up into two parts, two watches. Like I watched
mm,
half of it at night and then the other half in the morning.
mm-hmm.
And when I went to press resume on Netflix, I was like, damn, do I really have to like resume the because in all seriousness, I probably would have never gone back to it had we not
Mm-hmm.
had this podcast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes
So
sense.
maybe I was a little more harsh on it than you were, but talk to me about your second teacup.
So, like I said, first of all, I had no clue what this was. I kind of like just Googled it on MDL and just saw that like one line description that they have over there. And so basically, I didn't tell listeners, but Jess kind of came up with a list of movies and I just picked one for us to review. And we're just going to go through some of the others, over however many, how much time it takes us. But I basically was like, oh, let's do this one. This one sounds kind of fun. And it does because it feels like a retelling with a twist, right? They are mixing and matching Disney princesses, right? In a sense, and kind of like mashing them together and giving them a very different story. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just intrigued because I know Japanese dramas in general can be very wacky and very out of left field sometimes. And I was like, I'm just intrigued to see what Japan does with this, right? So I went in very open minded, and for the first couple of, I don't know, 20 minutes or whatever, I was like, okay, this all feels very overacted.
Yeah. So, yeah, from jump, this is you see the witch cackling.
So
First of all, there's
bad.
two witches. The
Yeah.
first witch that you meet is Barbara, and Barbara the witch, like you see her like cackling, like her jaw moving up and down, kind of cackling, acting a clown. Like she's over here like Yahoo, Vindalay, Vindaloo. And I'm like, you know what? This all makes sense. Like it's supposed to be stupid. It's supposed to be
Mhm. Mhm.
silly. I get it.
Mhm.
That's not my jam. That's not my jam. Okay, like and I'm the person that likes Shrek. Shrek does this to great effect, where it's silly, it's campy, it's clever, it's witty.
Mhm.
It has a lot of a mixing of different fairy tales, right? In Shrek, I
Yeah.
love Into the Woods, that musical, which again is subverting and perverting some of these
Mhm.
uh, fairy tales that are well known. I obviously grew up on all the Disney princesses and all of those fairy tales. Look, this was not it. Okay. Like, um, there's
No.
a time and a place for such silliness. This was not it for me. Um, and I love Barbara. When she said her name was Barbara, I was like, of course it's Barbara.
Of course it's
Sorry.
Barbara.
Didn't, yeah.
But then
Yeah.
the other witch comes in and she's got like she's got like I can't oh my god, I can't even remember what was her name.
Oh
The other
man, it
witch.
was, oh God. Hold on. I'll
Oh,
I'll
that's
find it
really good at.
because it was Barbara and was it
And then the
Isabella?
no, I
Tekla?
think she had like a really, really Tekla. Yeah, Tekla.
I think it
Tekla
was
was the other.
Tekla.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Barbara the witch, and then Tekla was the other witch.
The yeah, like the white witch.
Yeah,
Like
to
an ice
Barbara's.
queen kind of like witch aesthetic. And then the other one was an older witch with all black. That was like hers, a Maleficent kind of aesthetic
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with a really big ass staff. It was like a comically
So
large.
sick. And it looked cheap as well.
Like, yeah, like so the costuming and the production teetered between this is well done and then this is really cheap looking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know what they like. What were you going for?
Yeah.
It just looked,
Yeah, I
everybody
don't
was
know.
cosplaying. I was like, this is this like a cosplay convention that they were like, okay, everybody stand here. We're going to shoot a movie.
I will say, the red, the Hurge, the red Hurge, that
Oh, her
looked
velvet hood.
good. That
Yeah, yeah,
looked
yeah, yeah.
good. I really, really like that. And I will say, I thought it was quite funny when Cinderella's meant to be this very beautiful. They do the after bibbity bobbity boom, with
Vindalay,
the
Vindaloo.
dresses. Yeah, the
Whatever the
Vindaloo,
hell.
Vindaloo,
Yeah, I
with
don't
the
know what.
dresses. And I actually thought that Little Red Riding Hood looked better than Cinderella. I liked her
Oh,
dress more.
okay. All right.
I thought she looked nice.
Mm-hmm.
The Yeah, so basically, let's go from the fact that she's she's supposed to be right, Little Red is supposed to be a traveler and she travels to places. She
Yeah.
meets this witch that forcefully wants to change her shoes, which is just crazy. Changes her shoes into worse than they were, like covers them in mud, makes them slimy. She loses her shoes while washing them, and that's like how she finds Cinderella. She comes
She
across
goes
Cinderella.
searching for her shoes that get taken down the brook,
Hmm.
and she happens upon Cinderella, who's burying a pigeon that
Hmm.
her evil stepsister
Killed.
killed. Like just
Bludgeoned.
saying it out
Just
loud.
whacked the pigeon.
Yeah, just murdered, straight up murdered a pigeon that was eating her block of cheese.
But she threw on the
It's
floor.
just silly. Like, it's just nonsense. Like, I feel like I'm
So,
talking through like the plot of Alice in Wonderland. Like, it's just like, and then she went to go see a hookah smoking caterpillar. And then, like, you know
mhm,
what I'm saying? Like, it's just like
mhm.
nonsense. Um, and it is campy. Like, you could tell they're not taking it seriously.
No, no. The actors are just going with it. The
Right.
actors are like just going with it.
You're supposed to have a lot of fun with it. I was not having that much fun.
No, no.
I wasn't having that much fun. I'll tell you when I was having fun. When
Hmm.
Barbara said her name and she was like Barbara, and I was like,
Yeah,
okay. Um,
it was
when
fun.
yeah, when one of the stepsisters, the one that was wearing yellow, I think her name
Yes.
was Anne, maybe
And yeah,
Margot.
that's
No, I think it was
uh
Margot.
yeah,
She was
Anne
the one
is the
wearing
one that
yellow.
cuts the hair,
Yes.
and
Okay.
then the other one is Margot. Yeah.
So Margot, she happens upon Margot. Margot's telling her story, and Little Red is being very sympathetic. She's very open, listening to her
Yeah, yeah.
plight with an open heart. And the the palace guards come finally and
Hmm.
sees her. But when they come upon them, Little Red's like she like shoves her forward, and she's like, "Yeah, she just confessed to like murdering the guy." And I'm like, oh my God, like Little Red is vicious. I died of laughter when she's just like and like
Hmm.
shoves her forward. Those things were funny to me.
Hmm. Hmm.
But as far as like the general plot, uh the over the top acting, that rarely got a laugh out of me.
Yeah. No, I agree. I
Okay.
agree. Because I think it was almost like forced a lot of the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
So let's talk about this crime that happens, right?
Right. So 21 minutes into this movie that's called Once Upon a Crime, we get the crime.
Hmm.
Uh Do you want to explain what the crime is? I mean,
Yeah,
this is like it's a who done it. The whole movie is a who done it.
it is. It is a whodunit. So basically, there is a hairdresser to the crown that is known as Paul, right? And this Paul guy is known to be the best hairdresser in the kingdom, is going to make you look absolutely fabulous. And if he cuts your hair and styles it, then you are going to be beautiful. And this kingdom, all they care about is beautiful people. If you're not beautiful, then you're mistreated, basically. Which
Yeah.
actually, I find that there's a whole, I feel like there's a whole connotation behind that, if that
It's
makes sense.
sort of like trying to be satire,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. Is it too on the nose?
I don't know, maybe a little bit, but I still appreciate the thought of it, if that makes sense.
All right. The effort.
Um, yeah, the effort. So this Paul guy turns up dead.
Is it Paul or
Uh,
Hans? I thought it was
oh, is
Hans.
it? Uh, Oh, it might be Hans. Oh, it is. It is Hans. Paul is the guy who's trying to investigate and is atrocious at investigating. Is that the
Uh,
one?
I get I have Hans in my in my notes.
As
I
the
think
guy,
it's
as the
Hans.
hairdresser.
That's the royal hairdresser who gets
Okay, so
murdered. Yeah.
my bad. Hans gets murdered, and this is the body that Cinderella and Little Red, their carriage rides over this dead body in the woods.
Yeah.
And mind you, these girls need to get to their party. So what do they decide to do? They're going to hide this body in the woods with some leaves and they're going to ride away.
Yeah, they just like drag him off the road and cover his
Drag them
body
off the
and
road.
dip.
Yeah. And Little Red is like, it's fine. I've looked at it. We didn't kill him. He was dead before we hit him. It's
You
fine.
know, we haven't talked about the visions that Little Red
The
has. Like
visions
she
that
has
she
That's So
yeah,
Raven visions.
yeah, that's so right. That's what it reminded me of as well.
And they don't like after a certain point she just stops having them.
She does. When it's helpful to have them, she doesn't have
Right.
them anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
So, this body, obviously, they're at the ball. Cinderella gets her dance with the prince, and Little Red is just there for the food a little bit and enjoying a
yeah,
turn of
like Little
the
Red
place.
insisted on going.
Yeah, yeah.
The two witches create the dress and all the,
Hmm.
you know, the carriage and then the ice queen-esque witch creates the shoes, the glass
Yeah,
slippers.
yeah. Did you like the little rivalry between the witches where the glass shoemaker is like, well, my magic lasts
For
24 hours,
24
yours
hours. And then hers is gonna outlast them until midnight because she's a old hag who
old hag.
hasn't
Yeah,
updated her wand or whatever. And I'm like,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
This is, we're
I
getting
love the
into,
technicalities. It's
yeah,
like
which
so
specifics
much
here.
Deus Ex Machina happening in the
Yeah.
movie.
So we're at the point now where they're going to investigate all of the carriages because he was obviously ran over and they do. Luckily, Little Red told her mouse person that was riding the carriage or driving the
The
carriage,
driver,
driver, to clean the blood
the
off.
wheels.
So, yeah. So nobody finds anything wrong with any of the carriages. They does it then go to them talking about the woman with the short hair because they find a bag full
Oh my
of
God. So it's this whole
hair.
thing. They find like a bag of
Yeah.
hair and they're like, oh, it must be all of these girls who cut off their hair and gave it to Hans. One of these girls is the killer. It's not one of them. It was ridiculous to even think that. Then the prince gets
Hmm.
implicated. They think it's the prince because Hans, the hairdresser, found out some secret and was blackmailing the prince because the prince threw the royal crown in the trash because he was mad and all that. It was like really stupid. Like, I'm not
They
gonna
put
lie.
him
I was like
they
rolling
put
my
him
eyes at half of it.
they put him in handcuffs for all of 2 minutes. And then the
Yes,
king is like, bring him back. He's innocent. Bring him back.
it's a literal fever dream. What ends up
Yeah.
happening is, I don't know. We can jump to the end.
We can. We can.
The real culprit. Again, if you don't want to be spoiled and you want to watch this movie, then stop here and come back later. But the real culprit who killed the hairdresser Hans, who was a total creep, mind you,
Such a
he
creep.
was chopping off women's hair without their consent. He was like forcefully cutting off like women's hair, long hair,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and keeping it as like trophies. He was like a total creeper. Cinderella actually murdered this guy and then framed her stepsister, Margot, to be the killer because obviously Margot had been abusing and bullying her for years.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then there were two sets of glass slippers for
Shoes?
Cinderella.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even fucking know. So, I don't think this was much of a twist, but I like the fact that Cinderella was the killer. Does that make sense?
Yes, I
Okay.
also liked that fact because
Okay.
I I don't know. I wasn't even thinking, oh, who could have killed him at one point. I was like, I it's going to be somebody wild. Like at this point, this is a shambles, you know.
Yeah,
It's a
right. Like
bit
this
of a
whole thing
walk.
is in shambles.
Yeah, yeah. Nobody can invent the fact that the person who is meant to be investigating is calling Little Red Master and just following whatever Little Red is saying is
They
the
called her Detective Riding Hood. I died laughing. It was so ridiculous. It was very, the whole thing gave, Hercule Poirot gave, you
yeah.
know, a locked room mystery for a lot of
Mhm.
it. And
Mhm.
I like the movie Clue. Do you know the movie Clue?
I don't think I've watched it.
No, with Tim Curry, based
No,
on
I
the
don't think I
board
have.
game.
Well, I know about the game, but I haven't watched the
Oh
movie.
my God. Okay, so you have to watch Clue. The movie
Mhm.
Clue is famous because it's very campy and it's based on a freaking board game. Okay.
Yeah, I do know about. Yeah.
And it's famous for having multiple endings, multiple different endings.
Mhm.
Another who done it because they're locked in the mansion and they have to figure out
Yeah,
who done
yeah,
it, just
yeah.
like the board game.
Yeah.
Um, and I love that. It's very campy, it's very funny, it's silly. This was not that. This was not. I'm talking about levels, right? Like if
Mhm.
Clue is like the
Mhm.
best there is of this certain thing, Once Upon a Crime is like, I don't know, 101 level. It's very basic, not very good, not very surprising, but I do appreciate like the effort.
Yeah. That's where I'm at as well. Like it was just a bit too silly for me. It was just a bit too far out the
Yeah.
corner. And the thing is, like you said, I quite enjoy closed room murder mysteries. I'm a big fan of Poirot. Like I loved watching the old Poirot series on TV when
Mm.
I was growing up. So I really 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 enjoyed that show. But when it comes to this is not that at all. And I this could have been really good. This could have been really good if they rein in some of that over the top comedy
Mm-hmm.
and if the writing was better as well because I feel like the writing's all over the freaking place
Oh
and then
yeah.
everybody's overacting to
Oh
compensate for goodness knows what.
yeah.
Um, the prince gets his happy ending with his wife
I
to
get,
be.
yeah, some other, was she a servant in the royal
Yeah, so she was
household?
a servant in the royal palace and he wanted to marry her, but basically the king was he the prince thought the king was going to oppose it, but he wasn't. Um Hans kind of comes in and tries to cut all of her hair. And in the process of her trying to get away, she gets cut in the face, gets a scar. And obviously, in this country and place where beauty is everything, she no longer thinks she can stand next to the prince. So she kind of runs away, but she never really runs that far. And then
Mm-hmm.
she's actually the one who tells everybody that the prince is innocent because
Right.
he
She
went and
provides his
sat,
alibi.
yeah, he went and sat on the rock and she watched him for 2 hours, basically.
Let me go watch my beloved sit on a
two
cliff for two
hours on a
hours,
rock for
for on a
two
hillside for
hours.
2 hours. Yeah, I agree that the commentary that beauty above all is beauty is the most important thing. That commentary of beauty equals status is good. It's smart. It's
Mhm.
smarter than the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's smarter than the execution of it in the movie.
Mhm. Mm-hmm.
I also think the cutting of the hair against their will was like a euphemism for rape.
Yeah, I that's where my brain went as well, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he
Especially when they
was,
showed her like her attempt at getting away.
yeah,
She eventually becomes a princess. Like she's the one that the prince fell in love
has a
with,
scar, Remy.
and she
Yeah,
has the
Remy.
facial scar from the assault. I was like, oh, this is like very sexual assaulty kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I definitely felt that they were also commenting on that
Mm-hmm.
and that whole thing of like them cutting their hair. It's like a, very symbolic of that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, they don't take it anywhere. They just kind of like leave it out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like a good idea, but not really
Well
explored
executed.
in any meaningful way. Yeah. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's this movie in general. It's like it's a good idea, but it's fairly poorly executed, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Listen, I started looking at letterbox reviews.
Oh
Have,
no, read
do you have
some
the
out.
pleasure of okay? If you will allow me to just hijack this for a minute. So I love
Go
looking
for
at
it.
letterbox reviews. First of all, Once Upon a Crime has a 2.7 average letterboxed
Is that out of
rating
what?
out of 5. And you can give half stars.
Okay,
So you can
okay.
give one, 1.5, two, 2.5,
Mm-hmm,
half a
mm-hmm.
star even. And it's got 2.7, which means that people found it mostly average, like middle of the
Yeah.
ground,
Mm-hmm.
middle of the road, I should say. And the first review is a 2-star review. It says Cinderella did no wrong. That motherfucking Hans was creepy as fuck.
I agree. I kind of agree.
I thought the same thing. I was like, why are we punishing her for getting rid of
Yeah,
a rapist? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, once this other person 4 stars, the low ratings, dot, dot, dot. Oh, y'all hate fun. I wouldn't say that at all. I wouldn't say that at all. Um,
No.
3.5 stars. Barbara should have had more screen time. Come on. And you know what? I agree. I agree with that one.
Barbara was a hoot.
1.5 star from this person. They said you can see it a mile coming that Cinderella was the killer, but I wasn't expecting the twist to be so mean spirited. Like I was
Mm,
honestly expecting it to end up being that she was nothing like the kind, demure person she presented herself as, and maybe her family wasn't as cruel as initially presented. I assumed this whole thing would be some elaborate plan on her part to get with the prince, and it wouldn't feel bad when she got caught. Instead, it turns out her life was really as awful as it looked, and she committed murder because she was essentially sexually assaulted and
yeah,
did it out of self-defense. She then acts purely to save herself from inevitably being locked up for simply defending herself. 100%. This
I
person and I have the
absolutely
same,
agree. I
right?
absolutely agree. Mm-hmm,
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
Like, I don't necessarily feel bad for Hans. Like, are we supposed to feel bad for the murdered guy?
No, I don't think. I mean, if anybody's expecting that, surely they're not right in the head. He was a creep.
Ugh,
He
gross.
was a creep.
3 stars in all caps. The costumes were so cool. I don't know. I had a great time. Like some people just walk in and they don't think too much. Um, 2 stars, Cinderella's innocent. 3 stars, God forbid women have hobbies. I mean, like, again, you're not supposed to take it that seriously. I see you laughing, Liliana. But it's just not that charming to me.
Mm.
It's not
I
even
think
that
it's a bit.
charming to make up
It,
for it.
I think it's a bit too over the top for me. But not in a good way.
Yeah.
Not in a good way. Like, this doesn't even class to me. You know, whenever I say sometimes, oh my God, this is so bad, it's good.
Yeah, no, it's not
This,
even.
this, yeah, this doesn't even enter that class.
No.
I don't think. I did like Little Red Riding Hood. Like, I liked her and her character.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was like, a lot of the time you could see in her face, these dumb motherfuckers. Like when they were just spewing stuff, and she was like, "How dumb are these people?" type
Yeah, like
situation.
everyone was dumb on purpose. And then
Yeah,
Little
yeah,
Red was
yeah.
the only one with two brain cells to rub together. This person said 1 star, not camp enough to be camp. I agree.
I agree. Well,
I
not the right
agree.
type of camp, not the
Yeah.
right, yeah, not the right type of camp for it to be camp enough. I also
5 stars,
agree.
cunty.
Cunty.
2 stars, once upon a meme.
What's a
I mean, it's just like what do you prioritize in a movie? Like for me, I prioritize like a lot of different things besides costuming and like vibe and I don't know, like it just a lot of this was I was expecting it to be better. The marketing suggested that it was going to be a lot smarter than this. Sorry. Sorry about it.
Yeah. So I
Any
think
last
for
words?
me, I think because I haven't watched very many movies in general, even when I was growing up, I was never like a movie person. I was always like a TV show type of person,
Hmm.
way more over movies. So I don't have, like, as an adult, I don't have a lot, like, I still don't know what I want out of movies, if that makes sense. I
Ah,
still don't know myself
I
in
got you.
terms of my qualm with movies in general, not this one no, but with like good movies in general, is I always find that I want more out of them in terms of God. I always end up thinking, God, I wish this was a show because they could have explored this more. They could have, and that's my only thing with movies. So through this series, this one was not the case. Like I thought some of the costuming looked cheap, except
Yeah.
for like her red hood looked good. Like I really liked her red hood. I
This looked like a
liked
TV movie to me.
the TV movie. Oh yeah, like a small budget
Yeah,
kind
like
of.
it looked
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Wonderful World of Disney type. Like just
Yeah, no, that
enough to
makes
put it on
sense.
TV.
Yeah, yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Um, But yeah, I thought this was going to be better. The trailer looked better than the
Yeah,
we got burnt because that trailer looked
that's what I'm
so
saying.
interesting. The trailer looked very interesting, and I kept thinking, oh my God, the concept of this, what's gonna happen? And then I get in, and I'm like,
What is
okay,
this? Yeah,
what is this? I'm not sure. It feels like I was tripping. I had taken drugs
literally.
without knowing or something, and I was tripping because I was like, what the heck is going on here? I have no idea what the heck I'm watching.
And
And at
I
one
love
point,
whimsy. I freaking love whimsy. I love Alice in Wonderland. I love things that don't make
yes,
sense.
me too. Yes.
No, no, no to all of this. Skada, Skadeen, get this shit off my screen. Like,
I
did
love it.
not, did not vibe with this at all.
And the thing is, they end it on what seems like they intend on making more.
More
Well, because it felt like Red, Little Red, was saying goodbye. This
correct.
kingdom is sorted, and it felt like she was going to move on to the next kingdom. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if this was so bad that they were like, well, maybe let's not.
Well, we didn't find the like her story is her grandmother gets eaten by a wolf and I think so does
Pretend
she.
then.
So then
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the wolf
yeah,
masquerades as her grandmother and what is it? My what big teeth you have, my
yeah.
what
What
big
big
ears you
eyes.
have. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the whole thing. That's
Yeah.
Little Red Riding Hood story.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
we haven't seen her story at all.
No, no, no. But yeah, I just thought this was a novel concept, but it was poorly executed. And it's a shame because, like I said, I feel like this could be a series of movies where they do other fairy tales and kind of turn them on their
Hmm.
heads, where she goes from like world to world to kind of help them resolve these cases. So that could have been really good. But unfortunately, I just think it was poorly executed. And yeah, I'm not sure I have anything else to say on it. Have you
No,
got anything else to
no,
say,
I don't.
Jess?
Let me look at my notes. I don't think I have anything else to say. Even the prince, I was like, this guy has no personality.
And he
Yeah,
wasn't,
no, I
yeah.
don't have anything else to say.
I'm looking at his picture on MDL and he looks better in this like modern getup than he did as the prince
Hmm.
also.
Okay.
So yeah. That's it, I think.
That's
I
it.
think
I'm
that's it.
sorry this wasn't a better
Start to
movie.
the series. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll have some good ones coming our way. Listeners, if you have any movies that you would love for Jess and I to watch and review together, either send
Yes.
it to me or send it to Jess. We'll put them on the list and see, you know, what we'll do with them. Hopefully anything better than this. I mean, the bar is on the ground right
It's
now.
on the ground, guys.
It's not going to take a lot for us to have a better experience than this one because the bar is fairly low right now.
Oh
But
man.
this is going to be officially the kickoff to I don't know what I'm even going to call it. Movies with Jess, diving into movies, jumping into I don't know, into
I don't know.
movies.
Tea and
We're
Soju
gonna
Movie Club? I don't know.
Oh, that's actually quite good. That is actually I like that. So there we go. We might end up going with that. But that whatever it will be by the time this episode comes out, you'll see it on the poster. So, Jess, thank you very much for jumping on and making yourself watch this.
You're welcome. I'm glad it's off my list. And I
Where
can
can people
log it in my letterbox.
in your letterbox?
Yeah.
Where can people find you, Jess?
Sure. So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Daebak Pod, Daebakpod. And of course, you can listen to Daebak K-Rambles Podcast anywhere you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of those. Love to have you over there. And of course, Liliana's on there every so often. I love to have her there consistently. It is a lot of fun to review K dramas and sometimes C dramas.
True, very true. Thank you so much for coming on. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed somewhat our ramblings on this one because it was a bit all over the place. Hopefully the next one is more of a hit than a miss. But
For
I
sure.
feel like that's what this series is going to be about, hit or miss on the movie scenario. And that's fine. That's fine. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode and we shall